Fuck the environment. I am sick of looking after the environment and no one is allowed to breathe anymore because we release carbon dioxide. We all have to hold our breaths to save the environment, and for many years I did as I was told. I never breathed the air as the rules were so strict. There were things attached to our necks to see if we were breathing. If we were caught breathing, then we will be heavily fined, then it will be imprisonment. Then after that, if we were still disobeying and breathing, we will be taken to a place where we will be forced to breathe in all of the carbon dioxide that had been released into the air. For many years I followed the rules, and then one day I saw someone breathing. I stared at him, and when he saw me, he smiled and said that he has discovered a way to turn off the things around our necks. When he switched off the thing around my neck, I was in such awe when I started breathing again. It was the most delightful and rebellious thing I had ever done. Then this guy leaned in and said, "Fuck the environment." I agreed with him, and I was sick of not being able to breathe in the air. It was wonderful to breathe the air after 5 years of not breathing in anything. I kept saying, "Fuck the environment," over and over again because of how imprisoned I felt. Then I was shown more people whose neck monitors were switched off. When police or any other officials went past us, we would all pretend not to be breathing. It was the best moment in my life. But as you know, whenever there is a high, then it must all come down. Some random person must have caught us breathing air. We don't know who did. The next thing we all knew is that police officers raided our breathing hangouts. We were all fined, but none of us cared, and we all shouted out loud onto the streets, "Fuck the environment." And then we were taken to prison. Our names were all over the area, and I was ready to fight this, as breathing should be everyone's right. Breathing should be free and casual, and to be forced not to breathe is a crime against humanity. In prison, they made it very hard for us for breathing. They would starve us and put us in isolation. I also got beat up by the guards, but I kept shouting out loud, "Fuck the environment," and all of the prisoners would stare at me as I was breathing the air. I felt like I above the human race, who were all holding their breaths. Even the animals were holding their breaths to save the environment. At this point, I wasn't sure what had happened to the other guys who were breathing the air. Then I was taken to a place in the sky through a flying pod, where I was ordered to only breathe in the carbon dioxide and never breathe out. Fuck the environment.